So I guess we're gonna be locked in the house for the next few months.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
We got all the kids. We have to find something for them to do and some way to keep them entertained.
Go to the park!
But here's the thing. We can't go to the park because we're quarantined.
I can't fit in the places, Daddy.
What are you gonna do?
Can you take me to Sandbox?
Well, I can build a sandbox pretty easy. I guess I could draw up some plans and we can get it built in just about a day.
You think so?
Yeah. It'd be a pretty simple project and it would give them something to do to stay entertained while we're locked up.
Sounds like a good idea.
I guess we're going to get some wood.
Let's go.
So after a quick trip to the local home store to grab just a few materials, we have everything we need to put the sandbox together and we start to unload it from the truck. Now this step isn't necessary, but when I'm building from dimensional lumber such as 2x4s, 2x6s from the home center, I like to rip off both of those rounded edges just to give it a nice square, clean look. Then I take my materials over to the miter saw to cut them to their final length. So I chose to go with a pretty simple joinery method here. We're just going to use wood, glue, and screws. Here you see me putting the pocket holes to join the main frame, but make sure that you get screws that are rated for exterior use if you're going to have your sandbox outdoors. If you would like to build one of these super simple sandboxes for yourself and also support what we do at Dimensionswoodworks at the same time, I will have plans for sale available on my website with a link in the description. So after completing the main frame portion of the sandbox, we will attach the boards that will become the bottom of the box itself. I will pre-drill the holes and use a scrap piece of 1/2-inch plywood as a spacer to allow the water to drain through the box so that it doesn't fill up over time. Now I will begin construction of the frame for the lid for the box. We opted not to go with hinges because we thought the kids may use that as a ladder and tear the hinges out of the box itself. So we just wanted a lid that was heavy enough that only the adults could lift and would also keep the neighborhood cats out of it. Now I just used my Craig Multi-Mark in order to ensure that I have the same amount of overhang on each side for the boards that will become the lid. Once I'm sure that my spacing is good, I just go ahead and screw those lid boards down to the frame, and then we will space them out the same way that we did with the bottom, but I wanted to make sure that it fit the box well before proceeding in this step. Now we wanted to attach a couple of handles to make it easy to remove the lid. Just make sure that you get hardware that is again rated for outdoor use. Now to ensure that we had some good sturdy legs to keep the kids safe while they were playing in it, I wanted to use mortise and tenon joinery here, but to keep us from having to actually cut the tenon, I just cut 2 pieces and made the tenon by joining them together. Once the glue was dried on the legs, we could begin the layout for the mortises on the bottom of the box. I used the legs themselves to make sure that I had a good snug fit and that they would seat securely into the bottom of the box. After using the router to remove most of the waste, I came back with my hand chisel and just really dialed in that mortise to make sure we had a nice tight fit. Once I was happy with the test fit of the legs, it was time to add glue to affix them permanently to the bottom of the box. Since I was building the sandbox for a 2-year-old, I let her pick the color for her sandbox, and she really liked this stain color because it kind of looks purple. But this is completely up to you, whatever color you like or whatever color your child likes. It's just there to add a little bit of protection, and then we will put a clear coat on it after the stain is applied. For all of my outdoor projects, I like to use spar urethane that is actually made to varnish boats because it holds up very well outside. Make sure to coat the clear evenly and that you don't get any runs in it because this finish is quite viscous, and when those runs dry they don't look very good. Apply 2 light coats and that should be good for enough protection for several years to come. After the clear has had time to dry, we can reinstall the hardware for the handles on the top. And because we left the gaps in the top and bottom to allow the water to pass through, we have to make a way to keep the sand in. So we just used this weed blocking paper that is common to put down in flower beds. And again, all these materials are easily found at your local home center. And now that we're getting close, the kids are getting very excited once they see the sand actually going into the sandbox. We purchased this play sand that is made by Quikrete and it worked great. And we were able to get all the materials in one stop in one day and finish up this quick little project and let the kids get to playing later that evening. And this is the little cutie that asked me to build her the sandbox earlier in the video, and she's proudly rocking her Dimensions shirt, but the big kids also got in on the action once we had it all together.
Wait, there's something. My sandbox.
And there you have it, folks, straight from the mouths of babes. Thanks so much for watching and sticking around to the end. If you want to build your very own sandbox, I will have detailed plans for sale in the link in the description. It's a great 1 or 2 day project for the family and is comparable in price to anything that you can find out there, but will last much, much longer. If you want to support what we do and it won't cost you a dime, all you have to do is like, share, and subscribe to the channel to support little creators like me, and that really goes a long way. Get out there, go build something awesome for you and your family, and until next time, don't forget to get better every day.